Hi guys. Hello. All right, let me quickly check if you guys are online or not. It is 1 o'clock, Friday. You know that we get together on this day. Okay, so if you can see me and hear me, give me a quick yes, please, everyone. Yes or no on the chat box so I know that I'm audible and visible. Oh, hi, Royal Enfield. How are you? All right, please make sure that you share this session with your friends and family and others so that whatever we are doing here is also visible and used by them. Please remember that these sessions are not just for me, but also for you and your friends, right? Also remember to hit the like button. I'm seeing one like. If you can hit the like button, I'll be very happy. And also subscribe to the session so that you can participate in the chat box. The chat box is a subscriber mode only chat box, and therefore we need to have that, right? Thank you, Royal Enfield. What's your name otherwise? So, every session we discuss two things. We discuss that what you should be reading now, and also we discuss some vocabulary for the day. So, today for reading, I'm going to ask you to read something from science.com. Okay, you can choose any article. I would suggest that it has something to do with animal kingdom. Okay, I'm just suggesting, that's one of my suggestions. Okay, if you can, that'll be very good. As far as ZRCs are as far as, okay, I'll come to your question also, Royal Enfield. As far as vocabulary is concerned, let's quickly talk about a few words, and then I will take you forward. Okay, so one very interesting root is pan, which means all, and therefore you have pandemic, right? Which comprises two roots. One is pan and the other is demos. Demos means people. So pandemic essentially means all the people, right? So it is something that affects, if it's a pandemic in terms of a disease, it is something that affects all the people. If you have a panorama, then you are able to see everything. Okay, it is a picture that covers everything. So panorama on your phone, you're able to see 360 degrees. Hi Vijay. So that, then of course you have what is called a frying pan, which in which case you can fry anything. So again, it is all or any. Then you have a word called panopticon. So you sit in the middle and you're able to see everything on all sides. That is called a panopticon, right? Of course, there will be other words also. For example, panacea, which means a cure all, something that can cure anything and everything. So wherever you get the word pan, you know that it is going to be something good. It is going to talk about everything. You have panegyric, sorry, panegyric, my spellings are sometimes crazy, which is praise, which is fulsome praise, lots of praise. Okay, so of course pan, you have so many words that are all to do with pan, which means all. Then I'll take you to another root, which is cogn or gnos. Okay, which means knowledge. Okay, so from gnos, let's start. So when your doctor does a diagnosis, or he diagnoses your disease, do you see this nos here? So he tells you everything, he gives you knowledge about everything. Okay, the prognosis is not very clear. So what you know about the future? Okay, pro means ahead. So knowledge of the future is prognosis. What is the prognosis? Somebody who predicts is prognosticating, right? Then there are people who say they have knowledge of God or they have knowledge. They are called Gnostics. They have knowledge. And then you have some people who say they have no knowledge, they are agnostics. Okay? Someone who says he has no knowledge of God, that is an agnostic. Okay? So, knowledge and no knowledge. So, nos you will find in so many places. Similarly, cogn also you will find in many words. Cognitive, cognition, okay? Precognition, recognize, right? All of these words you will find cognito, known, incognito, unknown, terra cognita, terra means land. So cognita means known land. Terra incognita means unknown land. Right? So many words you will find which are all related to knowledge. And all of these coming from the same root. Okay? All right. I hope you got that. All right. Yes, Vijay, your question: how to approach that RC? Should I translate in each and every line? No, no. Please don't translate every line into your mother tongue. That is never a good way of understanding, and also that's a very time-consuming way. So why would you want to waste so much time on something that makes no sense, right? So no, don't do that. Don't convert your RCs into your mother tongue. Just try and understand them. Okay, sentence by sentence, understand, interpret. Also, first look at the three questions that are there, and then go to the passage and understand. It's always better to understand the passage first and then go to the questions. All right, let's get started with our questions for the day. I've got again some RCs, some questions related to parajumble, summary, and so on. Let's read. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to read this page and then we will go to the next page. I'm removing myself so you have time and screen space. Okay, everyone, let's start. All right, let's take a look, guys. So, very quickly, we are already through the passage. Let's go to the questions and let's take a look. So, the author of the passage is most likely to support which one of the following statements? Is it that private ownership led to creation of neoliberal capitalism and a reduction in communal efforts? Is it that concept of private property should be abolished in order to achieve global prosperity? Is it that privatizing essential public resources lead to greater efficiency, improved outcome for society? Is it communities should be divided into hierarchies with the most successful receiving the most resources? All right, let's read this and try and identify what the correct answer is going to be. I'm waiting for your answers. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so I've got one answer from Vijay, which is option A, and that is the correct answer. That private ownership led to the creation of neoliberal capitalism and a reduction in communal efforts. So, yes, A is the correct answer, absolutely. The concept of private property should be abolished in order to achieve global prosperity. The author will probably not support this. Uh, Privatizing essential public resources leads to greater efficiency, improved outcomes. Again, the author is not going to suggest something like this. And communities should be divided with the most successful receiving the most resource. Again, is something that goes against the grain of the passage. So, therefore, best answer will be option number A. All right, let's go to the second question. The tragedy of the commons has its origin in the sophomoric assumption that private interest is the naturally predominant guide for human action. The real tragedy, however, lies not in the commons but in the private. Now, which of the following statement best reflects the argument being made in this sentence? So, what is it that you're talking about? Let's find out. All right. So let's take a look. The correct answer here is going to be option number. Let's see. The tragedy lies in the emphasis on private interest rather than recognizing the importance of shared resource. That is what he had said here. The real tragedy, however, lies not in the common but in the private. So therefore, private interest is more important and than shared resources or common interest. So this can be a good choice. Tragedy in the commons is caused by the neglect of the private interest. Now, he did not say that it is caused by the neglect of the private interest, therefore, we can eliminate B. Origins of the tragedy of the commons can be attributed to misapplication of private interest. Again, we did not talk about misapplication of private interest as a secondary guide, so eliminate. And tragedy associated with the tragedy of the commons is rooted in the disregard for private interest. Again, is it rooted in the disregard for private interest? We don't know, so eliminate that. So the best answer here is going to be option number A. All right, let's come to the next one. So the author discusses all of the following arguments in the passage except. So which one he does not discuss? Let's take a moment, read and understand. All right, let's take a look. The correct answer here, which all does he discuss? If we eliminate that, we'll be left with the accept answer. So the tragedy of the private is the global economic system that exploits people and the planet is something that he has discussed, so cannot be my answer. Importance of recognizing the well-being of all individuals for social and economic prosperity is also something that is discussed, so cannot be my answer. Idea of private has become a predominant global economic system is again something that is discussed in the passage and therefore cannot be my answer. So my correct answer here is option number D, which the author actually opposes in the passage. So therefore the correct answer will be option D. Okay. All right. All of the following can be inferred from the passage except so which one cannot be inferred. Let's take a moment and find out again. I'm putting myself on mute. Oh my God. All right. Uh, Let me quickly take you back. Okay, so A, B, and C were all to be inferred. D was the one that you could not infer, so therefore D was the correct answer. Okay. Which of the following provides an explanation of the active mechanism as per the last paragraph? Let's take a moment and find out. I'm waiting for the correct answers. I've got one answer. All right. If you take a look at this question, it says, what is an explanation of the active mechanism? That the nature is the ability to act and influence its own course is valid. Nature has the power to do and change its own state, again is valid. Has the faculty to initiate and modify its own behavior, is also valid. Therefore, D is the correct answer. All of these, isn't it? All three are explanations of what the active mechanism is. So, therefore, D. All right. Now, here is a sentence that you have and a passage, and you have to see at which option, which blank you will be able to fit this sentence. Okay. Take a moment. I'm going to remove myself from the screen so that you are able to see the screen properly, and then take. Now, guys, let's take a look at this question. So, these types of questions, first you should read the passage and then read the sentence and see where it can fit in. So, Charles Elton, the pioneer of modern ecology, argued that the primary objective of animals is to eat. However, he also noted that animals spend a significant amount of time doing nothing in particular. Subsequent research has confirmed Eaton's observation. So, which research? The one that came after this. So here, blank one doesn't really require anything. Revealing widespread laziness among animals. For instance, lions and walruses spend about three-quarters of the day resting. Studies on ants have shown that maintaining a pool of inactive workers allows for a quick response to new tasks and the replacement of lost workers. Hence, animals may rest more than they work, but this behavior serves important functions in ensuring the survival and the prosperity of their society. Now, this apparent laziness, though, serves a purpose in the grand scheme of evolutions. Now, what is the purpose? It is mentioned in the sentence after blank 2. For example, the ants can have a quick response, right? So, 2 is a very good place to put this. 3, not so much. 4, not so much. So, best place blank number 2 for this sentence. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. The next question is a summary. We'll try and see where the sentence will fit. Take a moment, read and solve. Let's take a look at this question. So, here is a passage, and you have to identify what the summary is. So, the passage says if the social setting is the only prerequisite for the formation of a culture, then some animals also form and live in some sort of social settings. The question is why they do not have a culture. The answer to this question is said to be because they follow their natural instinct. Now, however, humans cannot survive on just their instincts. So, to compensate for this disadvantage, they rely on their faculty of intellect to reason. Formation of a culture is out of necessity for the reason that any society is destined to form some sort of order and cooperation. Otherwise, it would not last long. So, culture is the venue by means of which these shared interactions are materialized. These activities are not instinctive and are only acquired during the course of human relations with each other in a society. Now, animals lack culture because they follow their instinct, while humans compensate for the instinctual limitation with intellect and reason. But what about culture? What about creating the societies? So, this is sort of incomplete, right? So that's the problem with A. Let's look at B. Humans go beyond their instincts to survive while animals do not, leading to the development of culture in humans. Okay, this makes sense. The formation of culture in animals is hindered by the reliance on instinct, while humans who rely on, unlike humans who rely on order and cooperation. The passage does not really say that formation is hindered by their reliance on instinct. No. So, therefore, no. The lack of culture is due to their inability to reason. Unlike humans who rely on their intellectual faculties, again, it's not about the lack of culture, it is more about how culture is formed in humans, right? So, therefore, not D. So, the best answer here for us would be option number B. Okay. I hope you got that. All right, here's question number 8. So there are four sentences. You have to just put them in the right order. All right, I've got one answer which says CABD. Okay, let's take a look at this question. Huh? So, cricket stands out for its strong familial trends, unlike soccer, which has fewer notable football families. However, now the however says there's a contrast. This observation does not support the idea that cricket is more genetically determined. Cricketing abilities and their genetic heritability have been a subject of inquiry. What a beautiful introduction sentence, right? So we start with C. To investigate, one could compare the performance of identical twins raised in different environments, but a quicker approach is to compare cricket with other sports. So from C, we go to D and then A and B. Because A and B form that contrast. Cricket has familial trends, soccer has fewer notable football families, but this does not support that cricket is more genetically determined. So therefore C, D, A, B, and that's your answer. Okay, Vijay? All right, here's the next one. Again, a summary question. Let's take a minute, read, and all right. So let's take a look. The influence of classical civilizations of Rome on Western culture and politics is undeniable. Okay. However, it is important to recognize the diverse and multifaceted nature of their legacies. These ancient civilizations comprise various regions, peoples, and traditions that interacted and competed with each other. Spanning over a millennium from the Archaic period to late antiquity, classical antiquity witnessed significant changes and transformations. Studying these civilizations requires a critical and nuanced perspective. While the Greek and Roman classics have been revered as sources of inspiration, they have also faced challenges and criticisms. Throughout history, they have been appropriated and adapted, serving as instruments of power, but also deconstructed by scholars, revealing their biases. Regardless of one's stance, the classics have stimulated intellectual debate and fostered cultural creativity. They're not static entities, but living phenomena that continually invite reevaluation and reinterpretation. All right, so the legacy of ancient Greece and Rome in Western culture in Western culture, no, on Western culture is diverse and multifaceted, undergoing changes and transformation over a millennium. This is incorrect. Okay. The classical civilizations of Greece and Rome have had a profound influence on Western culture, but their legacy is complex and subject to critical examination. Yes, that is what they have said. Studying these civilizations requires a critical and nuanced perspective, isn't it? So they are actually saying this. So B is a good choice. The classics have, no, we're not talking of classics, we are talking of the classical civilization, have stimulated intellectual debate and cultural creativity, inviting ongoing re-evaluation and reinterpretation. Again, incorrect. The influence of the Greek and Roman classics on Western politics and culture is undeniable, but their appropriation and biases have been subjected to scholarly deconstruction. So, again, not correct. So, the best one here will be option number B. Okay. All right, let's come to the last question again. This is a para jumble, 4 sentences. 2 minutes you have to arrange these sentences into the correct order. All right, let's take a look at this one. It's a very nice, simple question. So, the power crisis, which power crisis, has also revealed Europe's insecurities, particularly for France, which holds the EU Council presidency and faces challenges to its pursuit of strategic autonomy in the face of dependence on Russian support. Soaring natural gas prices have resulted in significantly higher heating bills, depleting the savings accumulated during the prolonged period of staying at home. This crisis is all encompassing. What crisis are we talking about? Requiring the entire European Union to address its deepest concerns. Europe faces a range of fears varying across regions, including the impact of COVID 19 and an ongoing energy crisis. Now, very clearly, one thing is very sure, and that is that D is the introductory sentence, right? From D, where do we go? So we say Europe faces a range of fears, including the impact of COVID 19 and an ongoing energy crisis. And what is this energy crisis is mentioned in B, that soaring natural gas prices have resulted in higher heating bills, depleting the savings that were accumulated. So DB. Then it says this crisis is all encompassing. So C. And finally, the power crisis has also revealed Europe's insecurities. So D, B, C, A, that then becomes the correct answer. Okay. I hope you got that, guys. All right, with that, we come to the end of today's session. We have discussed some 10 questions today. I hope it was helpful for you. I will now see you on Sunday, again, 1 p.m., and we will cover a few more questions, right? Probably this Sunday will be the last session for this year, if I'm not mistaken. And subsequently, we'll meet in the new year with something new. All right, let's wrap up today's session. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day. Bye bye.